Hi guys. Second piece for the day is the Bayeux Tapestry. The Bayeux Tapestry is a piece that is 20 inches tall, about like that, right? And 230 feet long, and it documents the story of William, the Duke of Normandy, and his victory over Harold, the Earl of Essex, to become the first Norman king of England. Harold apparently had crowned himself. There was a battle at Hastings where William eventually triumphed, and therefore he is known also as the conqueror. Probably was easy to conquer Harold if all Harold had was a purple crayon and didn't use it very well. But of course, that's a joke. But we see here a scene where Harold has been slayed at the Battle of Hastings. So this is one of the later scenes. It has 27 scenes with Latin inscription. It has 3 registers. You can start to see them above and below here, although not fully. Sometimes the central image interacts with the other registers, and sometimes the other registers comment on the central image. The Latin inscription would also be referred to as Tertulli. The last scenes are gone, so probably taken by somebody for a private collection, but probably William's coronation. It is not actually a tapestry at all. It is a embroidered image. So a tapestry, the image would be built into the horizontal and vertical strings when they were woven together, the warp and weft threads. This is an existing piece of cloth that then has been stitched on top and painted to develop the imagery. So that's an embroidery rather than an actual tapestry. The piece is significant for a couple of things. One, its beauty, but also the fact that it was probably a very accurate description of the events leading up to it. And the events that are depicted are not just battle scenes. So this is like Trajan's column in that we see everyday events, people building, people preparing, people making food, people eating food. So it's like a slice of life telling us what life was like, although it does have a Norman bias to it because they were the winners, right? But because it was made so shortly after the events actually happened, we give it a lot of credence that it hasn't been long enough for the story to change, that the stories were probably pretty accurate. Interestingly, it is probably woven by Anglo-Saxon artists, English, because it looks like the illumination manuscripts that we see from that time was probably drawn by men and executed by women, because women were the best at embroidering, and Saxon women were the best in Europe, not just in England. It was probably commissioned by Odo, the Bishop of Bayeux. And you can see it has its own museum, right? Bayeux Tapestry Museum in Bayeux, France. You're like, well, why is the King of England's story housed in France? And the answer, of course, is because it is William, the Duke of Normandy's victory, and Normandy is in France. So this is the first French king. Some of the scenes are battle scenes, and in fact, like I find like this one actually pretty hard to look at, the way the horses are, positioned. There's some drama to it as well. So the Bayeux Tapestry from 1070, a really, really ambitious project and a really, really beautiful thing to see.